You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Hello. I forgot about it for a second for some reason.
Oh, we're so good at this.
And welcome to another virtual TADPOG podcast. Tyler and Dave and Ian are each at their own homes, speaking over Discord, talking about a very old game I just happened to Google to see if the Muppets had a game. Based entirely around a Muppet draft we didn't get to last episode.
It's funny how things like that work out.
Yep. So before we get to all that, you guys done anything in the last few days?
Yeah, we recorded 2 days ago, so
Yeah. So not a whole lot going on. I can report that I think I'm a lot better. I feel a lot better.
You sound better.
you do sound better.
I'm on the mend. Tanya had a rough day yesterday with her case, but she is getting better too. They actually got the medicine for her that's supposed to help speed that process along. So she's doing a little better. So hopefully by the end of the week, we're going to be back to normal and everything. I've missed work all week, and now I'm starting to feel antsy. Like when I go back on Monday, I'm going to be in a world
been
of
over
fresh hell. But yeah, and then also I just want to say that Tyler, I'm sure you caught on, you figured this out as well, but I hijacked Tyler's stream last night to stream Overwatch.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the TADPOG page.
I just now changed this thumbnail and the title, so now it is on its own playlist.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, it was funny because, and by the way, I had Zal and Derek Pope Sandwich join me. I was really just testing to see if it was going to work the way I had it set up, and it worked obviously pretty well because I picked up a couple of our fans that we had a nice little talk, and I played. I've got a few little tweaks, little audio tweaks, and some things to do, but it's working. So now that I know it's working, I'll probably be more likely to do it. And Tyler, next time I will be sure to set the title properly so it doesn't show Tyler plays Hollow Knight, and then people go in to look at that and see me playing Overwatch. So if you want to check me out on my pages, just for whatever reason, if you want to subscribe, I'm the Blue Band on Twitch and on YouTube. And then when possible, I will also be mirroring my stream out to the TADPOG feed, which there's probably, if I do that, that's where I'll be hosting chat and talking to everybody when possible. So anyway, that's really all I've been up to this week since we spoke on 2 days ago.
Yeah, same here. What about you, Dave?
Pretty much same stuff. I guess I started watching the Fallout series on Amazon.
I just now found out it came out. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, we're going to start that tomorrow, actually, and probably just binge through it over the weekend.
I like what I've seen so far. I didn't have a whole lot of time, so I'm only like halfway through the first episode. It kind of stinks to like pause it there, but actually it kind of worked out too, because like Henry was watching it with us, and then it kind of got to a point where it was like, oh, maybe this isn't good for him. And it was.
I heard it's kind of gory. Is that, is that true?
Yeah, it's like it's super, super gory. It just worked out when he kind of noped out, because there's kind of like some love stuff, and he noped out during that, and then like immediately after, it's this fucking like torture porn, like gores. Like it's like, oh, okay, well that worked out. Maybe they put that. Maybe they did it that way to clear out all the kids. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I like what I've seen so far. Half of the first episode's really, really good.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to watching it as well. We talked about it today here at the house, and I'm not working tomorrow either, so I think we've decided we're going to take our final day of chill to sit down and run through it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll like what I've seen so far. I don't know. I don't know what else there is, but
Gage told me he's been watching it and he's really into it as well. So yeah, we'll do it, and I'll report back next week.
Cool. There's no way I'll be done with it, but I hope the rest of it's good. Still doing the Dark Tower. I made about 2 hours progress since we recorded last, so
That's pretty good since we recorded day before yesterday.
yeah, I guess it's not too bad. I'm on like the fourth. Can't remember if he calls them. I think the fourth part of the book. So
yeah, it's like part 1, 2, 3, 4, and then different chapters inside those parts. Or whatever.
Yeah. So that's what's up. I'm probably about halfway through the part 4.
Cool.
Yeah, you got like 8 hours left, and it gets interesting. You know, it's. I'm to the point now where I just kind of want to know what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was there too. That's why I burned through it as fast as I did, because I was just like, okay, I need this to end because I'm tired.
Yeah. It's like I got 8 hours left, and it's like I know there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be wrapped up, and I'm starting to get impatient on how it gets wrapped up, if it gets wrapped up. So that's kind of where I am.
I will mention on the Wind Through the Keyhole. Yeah, I mentioned that Stephen King read this book for the audiobook version.
Right.
I'd say probably about a third of the way through it, it gets a lot better as far as his narration goes. Like he starts doing voices a little bit, and whereas before, like in the first part of the book, it's kind of flat. It's just like someone reading from a fucking manual of stereo instructions or something, you know.
I like to think his voices are like, "It's all right, oi, it's all right."
Taco flavor kisses. Oi.
But he does start to add a little more inflection and some like actual voices and stuff. So it does get better.
Good deal. I did the last.
I forgot
go ahead.
No, go. I thought no, go. Please go ahead.
I mean, it's not much. It's just I did the last 24 person raid in Final Fantasy for the first time.
You completed it?
Yeah. So that's done. It's fun. I mean, it's got some new gear. It's pretty much par for course as far as in-game MMO stuff goes. So it's not even like the super in-game stuff. It's not like the super hard content or anything. This is like, went in with some members from the free company and 16 other random people. And, we cleared it, no problem, in like 40 minutes. So all those people know that all those people have it on lock,
Yeah.
What were you saying, Tyler?
Oh, I forgot to mention about my shitty day yesterday. I actually did have an incredibly shitty day because
let's hear it.
I've got vacation I need to burn. I've got like 3 weeks I need to burn before mid-June. So it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, do some house projects, just to burn a few days. So yesterday, Melissa gets up, can't find the keys to the van, takes my car, goes. So I get up, I'm going to take Jack to daycare so I can do stuff at the house because there's no like cleaning and doing stuff with him there. So I'll go to take him. It's like, oh, where are the keys? I call Melissa. She's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I had to get to work. It's like, okay. I I then proceed to look for the keys for the next 8 hours.
Oh my.
and do nothing else but look for keys. I do not find said keys. Melissa returns from work. We cannot find the keys. The kids are home. We all look together all over the house and outside and in various cars. None of us can find the keys.
Damn.
They are still lost.
You still don't have them.
Still, no clue where these keys are. Like
God.
Melissa, the night before last, like went and got Choco Chica, came back, and then after that, they were lost in space and time.
Holy crap.
And it'd be $200 for me to go get a new key.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that because
No.
that van is super old and not worth $200. So, and then today I was going to be off and then had to go to work, ended up working all day. So now I'm going to be off tomorrow. And maybe together all day we can find the keys.
Hopefully it doesn't take all day.
I hope.
God. It's a lot of time spent looking for keys. Is all I'm going to say.
It sucked ass.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So I was like, oh, I had to spend a whole day of PTO wandering around my house looking for something all day. And that's how I did. That's how I spent a piece of my vacation.
I imagine you as Quentin Tarantino in that meme where you're just like looking around the house.
Yeah.
When you wake up before all your friends at a sleepover meme.
Yeah.
It's been a while before we've done audio memes.
Yeah, it's a classic TADPOG.
Well, you guys want to roll into a Muppet draft?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. I don't know who went last time. And I don't have a D20 in here on me. Well, let me get a dice roller. Let me pull up a dice roller. Use the internet machine. Okay, I'm gonna roll a D4. Dave, pick a number.
4.
Ian, pick a number.
1.
And I will say 2. D4. 3.
Of course.
All right, it's been fun. I'll catch you guys next Thursday.
We gotta roll again. 4.
I thought that was our out.
It could have been. So Dave, Ian, and then me. All right. Dave, who is your first Muppet to draft?
There are a lot of good Muppets.
There's so many good Muppets.
And I'm curious, like, this is strictly Muppets? No Jim Henson creations? Bonafide Muppets TM?
I think they all kind of count as Muppets though, don't they?
No, I don't know.
Like even
I'm not an expert.
I would say any Jim Henson creation. So like but the Doozers are fair game and
Rock.
Sesame Street are fair game.
Fraggle Rock, yeah.
Yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Okay. And we get to choose one character per draft round, right?
Per draft round.
Okay.
If you want to choose all of the Electric Mayhem, it's an investment.
Right, yeah, for sure. I have a theme to draft. I'll actually go, even though I just asked that question, I'm going to go with my favorite Muppet. This is not a big swing. It's probably not going to be a crowd pleaser, but I'm going to go with Gonzo.
Ah!
Gonzo, man.
Gonzo, fuck yes. Gonzo is the man. Ian, number 1.
This is tough for me because as much as I tend to not care for Muppets, I never was a huge fan, but I still watched the Muppet Show and the movies, and I don't know. I just never really got into it like a lot of people did. But so most of mine's going to be based on the old Muppet Show, the sketch comedy. Muppet show, or I should say the variety.
Oh God,
show.
I love that. Love it so much.
Yeah, it was a really good show, and I still like crack jokes from it. You know, like it was one of those that came around for me at a good time when I was the perfect age for that comedy. You know, so my first one is you kind of can't have one without the other. So I'm picking Statler and Waldorf, the old dudes that sit in the balcony and crack jokes at the during the Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to put them together? Like we can put Statler and Waldorf together, and then you want to put like Beaker and Bunsen together? We can do duos.
I think that duos should count because a lot of there's a lot of duos in the Muppet Show that are kind of they don't work without the other, without the duo. So I think in that case, I would say that's a fair game.
Okay, then for my number one, I will grab Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I do love Fozzie Bear.
The man.
Right, Dave, number two.
I'll grab Kermit. I like Kermit. He's like number one Muppet, and I mean, as
Kermit
far as
is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love Kermit. Gonzo's, he's where it's at. But I mean, Kermit for me, that's a good second. Kermit had that Sesame Street crossover too,
Yeah, he was multitasking for sure.
Yeah,
and let's not forget how fucking great he is on Saturday Night Live when they do the Christmas song and he's dancing around and headbanging with his little hat on and making them. Oh God, that is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. When they have Kermit sort of cut loose and be a little bit crazy, because he's always kind of the voice of reason in their group. When he kind of cuts loose and acts a little silly, it's always funny.
for sure. Have you seen the Weezer video "Keep Fishing"?
No, I have not.
It's like done like with like a bunch of the Muppets. It's actually done up like it's the Muppet Show. It's really good. If you like Weezer.
Because I showed Melissa the Buddy Holly video, and she was like, "This is amazing."
Oh yeah, the Happy Days.
Yeah, that is a fucking great video. God, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
That was included with Windows 95.
Was it really?
Yes,
Sure was.
Yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's actually, I think, how I got introduced to Weezer was through that video on Windows 95. No joke.
Ian, number 2 Muppet.
I got to grab up Animal because
Animal's a good one.
as much as Animal, I was always the one that didn't like chaos. Like Cat in the Hat freaked me the fuck out. And I stressed out more about the fact that Mom was coming home and the house was messy. And Animal was always sort of the representation of just utter chaos and destruction. But so when I was a kid, I always kind of like didn't care for Animal. But the older I got, the more he became, the more I appreciated him and what he is. So they even did a whole like series of Progressive insurance commercials with Animal in it, and it was like really funny shit. And so yeah, Animal's my number 2.
Very good one. My number 2 will be The Swedish Chef.
Oh man, he used to freak me right out when I was a kid.
Dave, number 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna venture now from straight up Muppets into Jim Henson creations. I'm gonna go with Big Bird.
Big Bird's on my list. Yeah.
Love Big Bird.
Was my favorite as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Big Bird is awesome.
Have you seen all the other Big Birds of other countries?
I don't know that I've seen all of them, but I have seen some of them.
No, I haven't. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, because every country, they're all different colors. They're called something different. But every Sesame Street and all the other countries all have different big birds, and they're all cousins. So there is some crossover where they call each other and stuff in episodes or come visit.
Okay. God, that sounds familiar now that you fucking mention it. Oh, my God. Because I watched Sesame Street a lot when I was a kid, but I don't know if they had gotten into that when I was still young enough to watch it. So, yeah, that's interesting.
Ian, you're number 3.
Let's see. I think for number 3, I'm gonna have to go with Ralph the dog.
Yeah, man.
My favorite Muppet baby.
Yeah, Ralph was cool. Ralph was always chill. He was the one I would have hung out with. You know.
He's always a little high.
Yeah, a little bit high.
Yeah, but not like
question about
sloppy.
it.
He's never sloppy.
No, he's chill.
He's just cool.
Have to be chill. For number 3, I will pick my favorite straight man Muppet, who lends that Jason Bateman element to any Muppet encounter, which is Sam the Eagle.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
Very much like Sam the Eagle.
AKA B. Arthur.
Yeah. Dave, number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to stray even farther into the Jim Henson creations. I'm going to go with Baby Sinclair, not the mama.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that was Jim Henson.
Yep, sure was. And that was like one of the
Damn.
most expensive sitcoms to produce because of all of the advanced puppetry. Mm-hmm.
Damn. No idea. That's awesome. Ian, number 4.
All right, so my number 4 is going to be my stray away from the Muppets, and I'm going to pick Yoda.
Nice.
From Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, not CGI Yoda, but puppet Yoda.
That's good. Let's see. What do I want for my number 4? For number 4, I'm going to grab Sweetums. Sweetums, who is the large monster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who is like
Big
sort
hairy
of
with the great big orange nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave, number 5.
For number 5, since I can only choose one, I will go with Raphael, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, because Jim Henson Creations did all the animatronic Ninja Turtle puppets for the first movie.
Shit.
Yep.
I also have no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, Jim Henson Creations, man, they were like a big deal. Did some really cool stuff. Like, I mean, the Muppets are really cool, but like, you know, beyond that, they did some really cool stuff.
Ian, number 5.
My number 5 will be a little known Muppet, Janice.
Oh,
Damn,
yeah.
you took my number 5. Shit.
She's the guitarist for the Electric Mayhem. And I love Janice because
MILF.
she was always, she's kind of a MILF. She's always also real chill. But one of my favorite things I remember laughing so hard at when I was a kid, they used to do this whole thing where they would all be talking all at once. And then they were, you know, like singing and talking and just this whole big crowd. And then they would all stop except for Janice. And Janice would be talking like really loud to somebody. And at one point, I remember it would stop and she would say, "Hey, yeah, naked sunbathing on the beach." And everybody kind of turns and looks at her real funny. I thought that was the funniest. Of course, you know, I was probably like 6 or 7. And of course, naturally, I'm going to think that's hilarious. So Janice is my number 5.
Nice.
I'll go a little out of right field And for my number 5, I'll get Crazy Harry, who was the guy who always had the TNT switch.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would show up and press it down and something would explode. He was fun on the Muppet Show. So do we have any honorable mentions for the Muppet Draft?
Honestly, Bunsen and Beaker would have to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's because the Beaker was fucking so unique and just so crazy and funny. I could still like laugh at Beaker today just because it's just so crazy. And also Pepe the King Prawn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to look it up.
Pepe was on my list. The two-headed monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Miss Piggy?
See, I don't like Miss Piggy. I've
Yeah.
never liked Miss Piggy.
I didn't like her when I was younger, but the older I got, the more I grew to appreciate her because she is such a good like foil.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I feel like doesn't work without Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but there's that. What's the bunny?
Bean.
Bean, yeah, Bean
Right.
the bunny.
I love Bean. Bean was an honorable mention for me, as well as Camilla the chicken.
I was about to say Henrietta, who I believe is also
Yeah.
chicken, one of the other chickens.
I didn't know his name, but Lou Zealand, who was the one who would throw the fish.
Oh, I didn't know his name. The one with the fucking mustache and the
Yeah, the
clown
one who looks like my
collar.
dad with a hairpiece but throws a fish.
What about who's the one that has like a top hat and a gold tooth?
Oh,
Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth. There you go. Thank you.
Damn, I forgot about Dr. Teeth. That's a good one. Rizzo the Rat.
Oh, Rizzo. Yeah.
Forget Rizzo.
Rizzo's good in the one of the movies.
Oh, Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it is Muppet Christmas Carol. You're
Because
right.
you think he's Tiny Tim,
Yep.
isn't he?
Yep.
And my final honorable mention is going to be hang on, I gotta look this up because I want to make sure I get it right.
That's not like you won't hear about it if you don't.
Exactly. Okay. Every single member of Frogtown Hollow Jubilee Jug Band from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I love every single one of them. Emmett Otter is one of my favorites ever. And I have forgotten about Emmett Otter until I finished my list. I would have added one of them to my list had I not done so.
Oh, we can start over.
But one of their if you ever want to just rock out with Emmett Otter, the Frogtown Hollow Jubilee Jug Band, I highly recommend the song Barbecue. Look it up on YouTube. Wiz and Sage says check it out.
Grover was my favorite. He and Big Bird were my favorite Sesame Street characters as a kid.
man.
And
God, Grover.
my
Monster
favorite
Truth, the
childhood
book.
book was Yep.
Yeah.
And Jack loves it too. So
Yeah, it's a good book.
well, I'd also talked about talking about movies that we want to have redone, rebooted with a Muppet cast.
Okay.
Do you guys have any recasting of movies with the Muppets you want to see?
I have not had a chance to give that any significant thought.
Well, one thing that I really like about the Muppet movies is like Muppet Christmas Carol, where it's like all Muppets except for one human actor, and I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and I was kind of thinking along that line. I'd also like to see some like really inappropriate Muppet stuff. Like I would love to see like Pulp Fiction, but with Muppets.
Oh my God. That would be amazing.
And it could even be like done PG. You know what I mean? Like I'd be fine with that. If it, in fact, that would probably
who's
even
the
be better.
Gimp and who's Marcellus Wallace?
Shit.
Or is Marcellus Wallace the only human and the gimp
I
is
think Gonzo's the gimp.
is Gonzo.
Yeah, I think Gonzo's the gimp.
It's the mask is totally covering his face except for his nose.
Except for the nose. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, that's funny.
And I mean, Rolf could be Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah, he could.
Scooter could be Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Who would be a good Zed? Who would have who's like a biker, like a
Animal?
Does any of the Muppets have like a maybe Animal. Maybe Animal.
So would Beaker and Bunsen be Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta?
See, I think John Travolta is the human actor.
He's the one human.
Yeah.
So who would be Jules? Oh man.
It had to be Kermit. Would have to be.
Yeah.
Also, I can't get the image now of
Could you imagine?
of animal butt humping Rolf in the basement. All crazy jazz plays.
I was just picturing Kermit giving in the Ezekiel 25:17 speech. And you will know my name is the Lord. Oh, fuck.
And what Piggy is
Mia.
Uma.
yeah.
Mia, yeah.
Oh, that works out perfectly with
It really
that's
does.
great. Also, I know Muppet Babies did it, and I loved it, and I saw it before I saw Star Wars. But
Yep.
legit Muppet Star Wars would be fun, I think.
Oh yeah, the whole series.
Yeah, totally. Or like a shortened version of the whole thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like they
Yeah.
do all of the movies in one, where they just kind of do the highlights.
Yeah,
Hayden
and,
Christensen's the only human.
Yeah, yeah.
So when
I
he
was
turns
thinking
into
like
Vader, is he Muppetized?
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Yes. I was thinking about like also on that same vein, like Indiana Jones.
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
totally.
Indiana Jones franchise done with Muppets.
Short Round is the only human in that.
Yes.
That's
Adult, as an adult.
Right, totally.
like I still haven't seen it, and I want all of us to watch it and review it. But the Dark Tower and Jake is the only human, so he falls into this world of
Of everyone's
Muppets
a
killing
Muppet.
each other.
Yeah, the Muppet Quartet. That would be a tough one to figure
Muppet.
out which Muppets.
The Muppet Quartet is like a ska band name.
So I'm thinking Janice would have to be Susan or Susanna.
I wouldn't mind seeing 12 Angry Men done as Muppets, but only the foreman of the jury is human, and then everyone else are the Muppets arguing with each other.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Alien with Muppets would be good.
Is it just Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, yeah. Or if it's aliens, then it would have to be only Bill Paxton.
Yeah, totally.
The original Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
Who's Goro?
and then
the Swedish Chef?
Swedish Chef is
Just
gonna,
with an extra set of arms?
or what? The shrimp, Pepe the Shrimp has multiple arms.
That's true. He's more of a Liu Kang.
And then only Liu Kang is human. So he calls all the Muppets to his tournament.
And New Zealand would be Kung Lao and throw fish instead of his hat.
Rizzo's Kano for sure.
With his little
Statler
red
Waldorf
robot eye.
Right, yeah.
Statler and Waldorf can be Sub-Zero and Scorpion heckling each other.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's actually really, really good. I like that a lot.
Then I had heist movies like Ocean's 11 and Now You See Me.
Ooh, those would actually be really good as Muppets. Especially the Now You See Me, because you can pull off a lot more kind of, weird, stunty kind of magic trick things with puppets.
Yeah.
This
is Tom Hanks. Is that the Leonardo DiCaprio Tom Hanks movie? No.
Which one?
Now You See Me.
No. That's got.
That was Catch Me If You Can, I guess.
Yeah, you're thinking
Catch Me If You Can would also be good.
Yeah.
Would also be good with Muppets.
Is Tom Hanks the only one? And everyone
it has
else
to
is
be Tom
Muppets?
Hanks.
Yeah.
It has to be
Yeah,
Tom
it has to.
Or Castaway.
I thought about putting Castaway on, and then the ball is a Muppet that actually talks.
Right.
And it's fuzzy. It's it's a brand new Muppet. Wilson the volleyball.
It's actually Fozzie's head.
They have to have it slowly rotting away as the movie goes on. Oh, man.
Season 2, live action Cowboy Bebop, only with Muppets. And the kid that they were going to get to play Ed is the only human.
Because he's already mostly Muppet, so...
Yeah, you take the most Muppet character and make them human.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, do you guys want to talk about Muppets Chaos at the Carnival?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what we're here for, man. Everybody's here for that Muppets Chaos at the Carnival talk.
Oh, a huge game. Because I am saying that right. That is the title, right? It's not something else weird.
Here, let me double check. It is Muppet Adventure: Chaos at the Carnival.
So we want to take a break real quick and come back and do it?
Sure.
Yeah, we can.
Or under these circumstances, we just keep recording and then just act like it's a break.
Whatever you want to do, my man.
Yeah, I'm good with whatever too. I mean, I'm kind of like entrenched here, so I'm good to keep going if you guys are.
No, me too. I just didn't know if we want to separate it or not.
Oh, I can do that. I'll do it late. I'll do it in post. No worries.
When you meet somebody that don't like soul food, they still got a soul. And it don't mean that you got no rhythm if you don't like rock and roll. But if you taste like mine, you like cider, not wine, and your very favorite thing to do
Let's get a pretty girl dancing to jug band music.
and a mess of mama's barbecue. Barbecue,
Bless my spirit,
I swear that it never fails. And the sauce mama makes just stays here forever if you dare to get it under your nails.
well, you
Maybe poor with the wolf at your door.
But money isn't everything.
You still got the sun and a river full of fun, and you always have a song to sing.
So get the frown off your face, we're gonna replace it with a grin and a dream come true.
With a pretty girl dancing to jug band music.
And a mess of mama's barbecue. Barbecue,
Bless my spirit,
I swear that it never fails. And the sauce mama makes just stays there forever if you dare to get it under your nails.
so get the
Frown off your face, face. We're gonna replace it with a grin and a dream come true.
With a pretty girl dancing to jug band music.
And a mess of mama's barbecue.
That's a pretty girl dancing to jug band music.
And a mess of mama's barbecue. Mess of mama's barbecue. Mess of mama's barbecue.
I miss a mama's barbecue.
Oh, that was fantastic. I can feel the prize money in my pocket.
And now for the game talk.
The game talk. Muppets.
Muppet
about it.
Adventure Chaos at the Carnival.
It's an NES game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's an action game. It came out.
One of our favorite developers.
Yeah, this one gives me Mind's Eye Technology. High Tech Expressions published it, and they give me nostalgia feels because I played a bunch of their bad DOS games when I was a kid. But I
Big
do love
DOS
when I see
energy
that.
on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Huge DOS energy.
Absolutely. It came out in 1990, which is you'd say that's pretty late for an NES game. November 1990 at that. So like Super Nintendo is like less than a year away.
You can see it coming down the road. It's that close.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're probably like, oh man, a late NES game probably looks awesome. You
It
would
plays
be wrong.
wonderful. Holy shit. Holy shit. Because I was not expecting much. And then I fired it up and it was
And it
good
still
Lord.
didn't meet your expectations.
Wow.
It's super ugly. It is a super ugly NES game. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be that ugly. Like, if it was like, this came out in 1985, it'd be like, damn, okay, that's all right. I mean, it's ugly, but fuck, it's 1985. What you gonna do?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this game was coded in 1985.
It looks
wasn't
like it.
released until 1990.
I could believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the screen pulled up. Want to read the news flash.
Yeah. Muppet News
So at the
Flash.
very beginning of the game, you get news flash. Miss Piggy pignapped. Notorious carnival owner Dr. Grump is prime suspect. Superstar Pig may be captive on carnival grounds. Kermit and the Muppets to attempt daring rescue.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
So-
just
It's my just favorite kind of thing that you know is done on the NES and Super Nintendo, which is, you know, we're not going to give you one big game. We're going to give you 4 shitty mini games.
Which, man, I got to be honest with you. Like, when I first started it up and realized that it was a mini game collection, I was super relieved because I kind of just thought this was going to be like a shitty platformer based on, you know, the fact that it's a licensed title.
yeah.
And then, like, I got through the Kermit the Frog, like, river rafting thing, which is one of the mini games. And I was like, okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well, that wasn't great, but I mean, at least it was short. And then the
Exactly.
other 3 are fucking so long. It is
Oh,
ridiculous.
I know it. I
Yep.
know it. Oh, I could not deal. There are so. I'm gonna break a little bit from my normal tradition here, and Brad from Arizona sent us a message, an email about this game, and I thought it might help to sort of summarize what it is and what it's about before we talk about it too much more. Brad begins. Comment on last week's stinger. If you can do it without upsetting someone who sent a gross food item, please tell us what item showed up that was gross and what was gross about it, because I'm very curious. So he said the stinger. He's talking about the closer that I put at the end of the show. And in the closer, for those of you that probably skip it, I mentioned that if you're going to send a food item, please do so with caution, because if it's spoiled or funky, we're not going to eat it. We're just going to throw it in the trash. There was The sad part, Brad, to answer your question, is there was no one instance of this that happened that caused me to say that, because it's happened multiple times, where we've either not gotten around to eating something or, let it sit, or when we opened it, it had been spoiled because it sat at the P.O. box too long or whatever. And I just was trying to be cautious about that. So unless you guys can think of one, I don't have a specific example of something that we got that was gross that we had to just toss.
I mean, we've gotten stuff that's gross, like the squid.
Right. I mean, like spoiled or whatever.
The canned squid was really gross. Thanks, Time Lord Josh Edwards.
I didn't even eat that, and it was gross.
Yeah, they had eyes on them still.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, it's really mainly just like us waiting too long to eat food, and it going bad.
So if it's like vacuum sealed or something, and it's safe, we'll chances are we'll eat it. We'll try it, but we're just being careful and watching out for ourselves as well, and also for you, so that you're not spending money on food that ends up getting thrown in the trash. So anyway, the next thing Brad says is, Ian, please get well soon, which I am on the mend. Thank you. He says, I ain't got shit to say about the Muppets game. 15 minutes ago is when I found out that it existed. But Game Players Magazine had something to say, and the ending verdict reads, as the late Muppets creator Jim Henson would have wanted, Muppet Adventure Number 1, it's titled in this Muppet Adventure Number 1, is very much a game for the whole family. It's challenging enough for veteran gamers, but not so daunting as to discourage younger players. Unfortunately, the game is marred by surprisingly flat, drab, unimaginative graphics. A disappointment, considering the imaginative characters on which the game is based. To some extent, I think I can agree with that. I'd like to, and then Brad continues, I'd like to think Jim Henson would have wanted Muppet Adventure Number 1 to be rated M for mature, but maybe that's just me. And so here's the whole review from Game Player. Just to get a little background, Muppet Adventure Number 1, Chaos at the Carnival, is the first installment in a projected series of Muppet games. It starts in classic fashion when the dreadful Dr. Grump kidnaps Miss Piggy. Leading the daring band of rescuers is, of course, Kermit the Frog. He's aided by Fozzie, Animal, and Gonzo, all of which were featured in our top 10 or our top 5 list today. The setting is a fairground, and each Muppet must complete one of 4 diabolically challenging carnival rides. After conquering each ride, your Muppet receives a key. Kermit needs all 4 keys to reach Dr. Grump's hideout and duel him for the fair hand or hoof of his bountiful heroine.
Gross. That's gross.
Does Piggy have hooves?
I don't know.
Let me see.
You look that up. I'll finish this. The 4 carnival rides give this game a nice variety of challenges. Fozzie has to find his way through a maze of ice cream cones while being pursued by devilish carnival barkers. That's what that thing is. Okay.
And ice cream cones.
And ice cream cones that don't look a thing like ice cream cones. He can thwart the barkers by dropping banana peels in their paths. I didn't know this.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I just kept eating bananas.
They say that, but you really just throw them at them. They're just like, they work like any of the projectiles in that level.
No, Piggy does not have hooves, by the way.
Shoo, thank goodness.
Whoever made this, I don't think she has arms and feet in this game when you rescue her. So this person had no idea who the Muppets are.
Next up, Animal must survive a bumper car obstacle course. God, what a fucking terrible game that was.
I didn't know if this was Animal or Garfield because it looked like fucking Garfield.
Or Alf. I mean, like
or Alf. Really, any orange to brown colored
Yeah.
And somewhere in that spectrum, it just works. Take your pick. Gonzo has to pilot his way through a Lost in Space sequence, the best game, and destroy space station. And Kermit, appropriately enough, has to steer his way down the raging river ride, avoiding rocks and floating tree limbs. After the Muppets get all 4 keys, Kermit alone must use them to enter the cave of the Grumpasaurus, which leads to the place where his porcine princess is held captive. This last round is a tough one, partly because the animated frog is fairly hard to control. No, on dry land. But hey, it's not easy being green. And then, the rest of the shit that I read earlier. So anyway, Brad says later. We say later, Brad. Thank you for the email, providing us with content to fill this terribly devoid of interesting subject matter podcast.
So was
Give
there
us
a
5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
So I didn't have the Kermit River raft. I didn't have much problems with. It was sometimes weird because you would get stuck in a whirlpool.
Yeah.
And just like throw it up against the side. That's just like it. And you hit the rocks until you're dead.
Dude, grinds you to death.
Yeah. And there are traps like that. Like it's designed that way. And that's the part that's really annoying about it is like the map, it's this overhead view. It kind of reminded me of Tubin a little bit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tubin, but
I am.
It reminded me of that a little bit, except like, man, the map is designed for like they'll put like a power up. It's just filled with noob traps. Like they'll put a power up and it's like, oh, okay, I want to go get that. And then you're like, oh, I see. I see. You baited me into this dead end. And now I just have to wait for Kermit to die.
Wait to die. And really rather slowly and painfully, all things considered.
Yep.
Because if you've got full health, it takes a full 7 seconds for it to grind him down into, green
and you can't do anything but just go forward a little faster.
Mm-mm.
And that's all you could do. I thought there would be I could use the paddle or something. Nope. That the whatever the groundskeeper is just gonna get you. Like if you see him.
Yeah, you can slow down a little bit, but not enough to give you any kind of an advantage. In fact, honestly, everything that you have to cross in the river moves so fast and there's just no way to avoid any of it. The time you can't even slow down to get your timing right. You know what I'm saying? It just sort of, you just got to pray that you're on the right path and that you can go. And yeah, it would be nice if you could have sped up or had just any kind of real control, but there was none.
Well, and you're dodging these logs and stuff that are moving side to side, but they don't stop where it looks like they're going to, because it's you know what I mean? It never touches the riverbank or anything. It's just kind of oh, it just stopped halfway. Okay, I had no idea it was going to do that. There's nothing intuitive about it. There's nothing that might even give you a hint the first time going through. Oh, okay, this log's going to stop halfway across the screen. Okay.
Well, and it would not be enough space. If there were 2 logs, one on top of the other, and the little gap that you got to try to navigate through was barely big enough, and they weren't apart long enough for you to really get through it effectively. It was really frustrating.
It also makes perfect sense that of all the things you have to avoid, you do want to grab periscopes and buoys.
I know. Yeah.
I avoided the buoys.
Me too, until I hit one on accident. And I was like, oh, that's a good thing.
My health went up. Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. Okay, cool.
Because I was like, oh, I don't want to run over a submarine. Clearly that's going to get me. You don't want to run into a buoy. That's going to stop you just like a log.
Yeah, we played Red October. We know.
Health refills and extra lives. Okay. But I feel like that's by far the easiest one.
I agree. I think that's the easiest one.
And then next was animals. It looks like it's supposed to be bumper cars, maybe.
It's bumper cars.
But it's the only one. He's got the only bumper car.
God,
This drove me fucking crazy.
I hate this one.
Oh my God, same.
It's so bad because it's like the car.
it's the worst one. It's
dude,
easily the worst one.
It's frustrating because like the car can go really fast, and it's like, oh man, that would
fast.
that would be fun if I could just kind of go fast with it, but you can't because it's like,
Oh, not at
there's-
all. Not at
There's
all.
so many obstacles, and it's like the car is centered, like it's on the center of the screen. It's not like at the far end. So it's like you can't go fast or you're going to hit everything. So I'm just constantly tapping, just tap, tap,
No,
tap.
and it's slick and like it's awful. Yeah, the controls are atrocious. You cannot go fast. You can't see the obstacles in front of you because they just load in. Like it's garbage.
They imply like a race, but it's not even timed, which
Right.
I guess is probably good. But it's like you just kind of, even if you're going slow, it's impossible to avoid some of these obstacles because they're so close together and like you drift.
Yeah, there's no
like, you
break.
just-
There's
no
none.
break.
There's no break.
You've got to like do, oh God, it's so bad.
Oil slicks, barrels, bombs, which are the worst.
Uh-huh.
And then those bumper pad things.
The blocks that go up and down. Yeah.
Well,
Oh
they're
yeah, the blocks that will throw you into the bombs, and you bounce back and forth till you hit all the bombs, and die.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't do that in a pinball machine that fucking consistently if I tried. Yet here we are.
Then what? The third one is Gonzo in space, and almost as bad controlling as his little pod, his Earthworm Jim underwater pod.
Yeah. I got
Going
the
through
Bathysphere
space.
vibes. Mhm.
Which I didn't know you could fire. I mean, I had lost all my lives before I figured out you could fire a weapon.
Oh God.
So this
Because I was like, this is impossible. What the fuck?
This to me was my favorite of all of the games because it was like asteroids. And
but yeah.
you can like you
But a side
thrust
scroller.
and then you have to turn around and thrust in the other direction to slow down, which I got the hang of that one super quick and had probably the most fun playing that because being a fan of old school asteroids and like the thrust, I was one of the few that would ever use like that thrust feature because everyone was always scared to try it. But me, I'm all over the place with it. And,
Fucking thrusting all over the place.
I'm thrusting everywhere, baby.
Thrustmaster.
But this one I actually didn't hate. I didn't hate it.
I like
It's the
asteroids.
only one I didn't finish.
Well, this one, I think it's hard. I mean, like
I didn't finish it.
I like asteroids, but like I don't know, man. When you mix, Tyler mentioned like side scrolling. When you like, you get to a point where it's like they're mixing asteroids with like a side scrolling shooter, and that gets rough because it's like you're having to navigate through this like cave system while using like asteroid controls, and it's like fuck, man. And like
that's tough.
the enemies can go through the walls. That's the other thing where it's like, man, they're gonna come through a wall and I'm gonna be like stuck. And that happens a lot where it's like I'm in a bad situation. I can't like, hit anything. But at
Like,
least
why this isn't a vertical scroller?
Yeah.
Give me a vertical scroller this level. Fine.
Yeah, that would be better,
Side
for sure.
scrolling.
Mm-hmm. At least, and I don't know if it's as long as the animal bumper car level. It feels long as well, but at least it's constant. It always, in the Gonzo space ride level, I always feel like I'm moving and I'm making progress. But in the car course, it's like so herky jerky that, I mean,
When is it over? When is it over? When is it over?
right. It's tedious.
Yeah.
It's super tedious.
Very tedious.
But then what I feel like is the longest one, which was like the maze, Fozzie's maze.
Yeah. Which I was hoping
So
was going to be
that-
like Bomberman at first when it first sets up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
looks like it.
Yeah. but then it plays more like Pac-Man, but without like power pellets or or fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because God, it's so long. So like, are there like 20 plus levels, mini
it's
levels
really
in this
easy.
level?
Like that one's super tedious because it's like, okay, so I figured out what to do. I guess I just do it a whole fucking bunch of times. Okay.
Yeah, every level is bow tie, present, bow tie, on to the next level. And then it starts off with just like one groundskeeper in this weird little maze, like Bomberman style. Eventually it gets creepy because the groundskeepers aren't the worst. It's the sentient candy cane that's just like slowly creeping and sliding towards you.
Yeah.
It's hearts that you can pick up sometimes, and sometimes you can't.
Yeah, and those hearts are projectiles. Because yep, that doesn't replenish your power like I thought it would. You can throw them at enemies, and that makes sense.
I beat that level, and threw nothing because I didn't know you could.
You don't. That's
no bananas, no hearts,
and you don't really need to. Obviously, I mean, you did it. It's possible.
And eventually, the candy canes are replaced with parts of the maze that start moving and creeping after you.
Yeah,
I did not get that far
because once I beat that, it was like, do I want to go back and try the Gonzo one again?
Right.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's what happened to me too.
So long.
Mm-hmm.
So how many keys did each of you get? I got 2. I got the one from the river and the one from the maze.
I got 3 of the 4 on different attempts. So like,
I'm sorry, not the maze. I got the one from the bumper car. Sorry, go ahead.
Because I got the river race and the bumper cars, and then I started the Gonzo one and died, realizing on my last life that I could shoot a projectile. So died, and then when I started over, I just tried the maze one. I beat the maze, and it was so long I didn't want to go back and beat the river and to the bumper cars again primarily.
Right.
I didn't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm just going to watch the last level. Fuck it. What about you, Dave?
I got 4 keys, but not on one playthrough. Between like 2 playthroughs, I got 4 keys. And I may or may not be playing it right now. So I'm on my route to getting 4 in one game. It's just like when I was playing it last night, I played it for like an hour. And I was in that situation where it's like, okay, I got all the keys, but not in one playthrough. Do I want to go through and get them all in one single playthrough? And at the time, the answer was absolutely fucking not. I'm done. So I didn't get to fight Dr. Grump.
Which I watched that one, and that looks frustrating because, it's Kermit's whole body, and he jumps very strangely. He has something in his hand. I don't know. I thought at first it was like a really short umbrella, or a fencing foil, or a knife.
Hey kids, ask your mom what this is.
Because he jumps like he's in Mylon Secret Castle on like platform to platform. I don't remember seeing a Grumposaurus. Just you keep jumping until you find Dr. Grump with Piggy, and I don't know if what this thing is actually a frying pan that produces hearts, because you flip hearts up at him that you have to that they flip up and you have to time it so he runs into the hearts, and then like 3 hearts and he's dead, and Piggy floats down like she's Princess in Super Mario World, and then that's it.
Exciting.
Because when I saw like, oh, do you hit him, or you're flipping hearts out of this blue thing he's holding? So, yeah, this fucking game. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wasn't like entertained enough. Like they were shitty, but it was like still kind of comically shitty. And I like that you played a different Muppet on every stage.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for things that are good, right? At this point.
Yeah, because I mean, I was just like, this is bad, but I'm like laughing at it. I'm not frustrated.
Yeah. I like the fact that they were like smaller arcade style kind of games, but the execution was just garbage.
It's real bad. It's a real bad video game. But you're right. I mean, it is so bad that it's laughable. Like, I was finding humor, like there's dark humor in this game, and by that I mean like someone made this. And the Muppets are in it. It's like an official Muppets game. Like, like this happened. This is a thing that happened, and everyone just has to live with it.
We
definitely like the creators of the game, definitely like had a dinner party at home with their wives and family to celebrate the completion of the game. They're like, and we have an advanced copy, and they put it in, and everybody started playing and was like, oh, this is nice.
Okay, it's just nice,
Good
Bob.
job. Good job. They pay him to do this?
Is that Animal? It's like
we could Mystery Science Theater 3000 this game. I feel like it feels like a campy bad 80s movie of a game.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any achievements?
I had a couple.
Do tell.
My first achievement is it's not easy being green. And to get that, you lose all of your lives on the river ride in the first part of the game, which is not hard to do. And then the second achievement that I have is animal magnetism. And to get animal magnetism, you somehow manage to lose all your lives in a race car game, despite the fact that you are not racing anyone and there is no penalty for going slow.
Dave, do you have any?
Yeah, I've got a couple half-baked ones. Also, that would make a great Muppet movie, Half-Baked. Introducing a new Muppet, Cuban Bee.
Yes, Cuban Bee.
My first one is Bubba Grump. In order to unlock Bubba Grump, you play the game multiple times in order to finally get 4 keys. Second achievement is it's time to meet the Muppets. In order to unlock it's time to meet the Muppets, you correctly guess what Muppet you're playing as in each minigame. Sometimes it's hard.
The Morpets.
The Morpets.
Brought to you by Sorny.
Nausula. And my last achievement is may your first day in hell last 10,000 years and may it be the shortest. In order to unlock may your first day in hell last 10,000 years and may it be the shortest, you just turn on the Muppets Carnival of Chaos video game.
Because, I had a few as well. My first one is Fucka Fucka. And you get that when you lose as Fozzie Bear in the maze. Get Grumped when you die to Dr. Grump at the end. Rainbow Disconnection, died during the river race. Pigs in space.
Nice.
Die in the space level. And then Animal Gets Put Down. You die in the race. Which that's also a funny but also kind of hurts your heart in a Family Guy gag where it's Animal at the vet getting injected and put down.
Oh, no.
I'll put that in the show notes.
If you die in Family Guy, you die in real life.
Well, do we hit any price charting or NES?
Yeah. What do you guys think if you were to buy this game? How much do you think you would pay for it? Again, we're talking about Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival.
Muppet Adventure number 1.
Number one.
Chaos at the
It's going to be a
Carnival.
whole big series. People are going to love
Big
it.
series. We got big plans, people. That's what he told the people at the dinner party. Oh, this is going to be a whole series of games. We're gonna.
Or is it
we're all gonna be
ironic, like
filthy
History of the
rich.
World Part 1?
Yeah. I would say that this is $2.
See, I think I'd never heard of it. I've never seen it. It came out like at the very end. I want to say this is like $50.
$50?
Big divergence.
Actual retail value of Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival, loose on average for the NES, according to pricecharting.com at the time of this recording, is $10.42. You can also buy it on PC if you'd like. Considerably less expensive, $6.59. Not many copies sold. And if you were to buy this in, I don't know, 2008, would you pay 50 cents for it? You might. You'd be able to.
I want it on DOS.
Yeah.
I want this on a diskette.
Yeah, dude. $6.59 looks like the going rate. Although, yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the numbers sold. I think it's one over the past all. Yep, one sale.
These things aren't moving like hotcakes.
Which makes me
Somebody accidentally bought it.
Yeah, I think they got a good deal though. I mean, like if it's only sold once ever, they bought it for $6.59. It's pretty good.
Damn.
What do you guys think Flopsy has to say about it?
This God has to be. I'm gonna say 2 stars, 2.5 stars, common.
2.5 common.
Yeah.
2 stars, uncommon.
2 stars, uncommon. I can't play because I saw it earlier when I was pulling it up. But according to Flopsy Jr., aka the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES Library 1985 through 1995 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn. Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival. Availability uncommon. Star rating 1.5 star.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know as far as NES games go, but that's low.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. According to
One of the lower ones.
our regular Flopsy, this is like, I don't know that I've ever seen a 1.5 in SNES Flopsy. The reflections on this one say, when I was a kid during the late 70s, I thought The Muppets was one of the funniest shows on television. A wonderful brew of puppetry, music, satire, slapstick, and famous guest stars. That's what this video game needs, is guest stars. We need like Phyllis
It
Diller.
needs Carol Burnett and Steve Martin.
The reviewer says, unfortunately, the NES cart based on the program is a little more than a prosaic, personality-deprived collection of arcade ripoffs. Most blatantly, Tubin and Asteroids. So, yeah.
Well, we got anything else to
check this
say?
out. Check this out. I didn't know this. In the review, they say the computer version of the game, released the year before, contains the following carnival attractions: bumper cars, funhouse, tunnel of love, duck hunt, and space ride. So if you buy the PC version, you're getting a whole different experience.
Shit.
That's why that one copy sold.
Yeah.
Someone had to have the other game.
We got to
right.
get more carnival games, more chaos.
So what I'm getting at is we haven't talked about what game we're going to do next.
Do the PC version of this game. we just can't get enough.
I'm
I mean, it can't be worse than this.
I'm not terribly interested. I don't know that we're barely going to squeak out an hour and a half on this one.
Yep.
Well, talking about what we want to do next.
You want to go back to the movie and game combo?
Yeah, I was gonna pull up that list and let's see, SNES movie games list. Okay, all right. So I feel like if I bring up my dice roller again, I'm gonna roll a D20. Roll, D20, roll. 1.
All right.
What is number 1? Number 1 is Three Ninjas Kick Back. We have done it.
So
Reroll
most
6.
watched YouTube video.
Most watched, yeah.
Number 6 is An American Tale, Fievel Goes West.
Don Bluth's joint. Okay.
So we good? We good with that, fellas?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not Stitcher, not SoundCloud, but on Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. We have ultra shit going on, but most importantly, there's that Patreon.
We do have a Patreon, and I would like to do a special shout out to a couple of new Patreon donors. One new donor and one raised donation. The first is He Got a Bicycle. Became a member recently.
I like that
So
name.
thank you. He got a bicycle, or he's got a bicycle.
Oh, never
I read
mind.
it wrong.
Never mind.
It's
I
not
like
as
his
good.
better again.
He got a bicycle. That's what you are now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to call you that now. So thank you for that very much. And then Jacob of wolf fighting fame raised his donation. So thank you so much for that as well, Jacob.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We have if you'd like to donate, like these fine people have done, and all of our wonderful donors do, you can do so at patreon.com/tadpog. For as little as $1, you have access to all of our bonus content. And as long as you keep that up, everything, if we add more, you'll have access to that too. So give it a look. And we do have a list of executive producers. These are the fine folks that donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'd like to read that list right now in a very specific order, starting with Cubicle Monkey, Plinko Nick Price, Usurper Grimm, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler. Sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Derek Pope Sandwich, thank you for joining me on my test stream last night. Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, and last but not least, Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Karen Dahl. Congratulations on your marriage. Thank you all so much for this generosity. It's really helpful, and it means a lot that you're willing to share your hard-earned money with us. Also, I'd like to shout out to Dane, as you always, for putting our show up on YouTube every week. Thank you for doing that. Brad, thank you for the nice email about the Muppets. I like reading your emails. They're very entertaining. And once again, I'd like to thank Michael May for the streaming device and officially dedicate my first and test stream to him, as I promised I would do. And that is all I've got.
Well, our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Look at that track they found in the show notes at tadpog.com. How would you guys like to close this one out?
Is our favorite Muppet? I mean,
Favorite Muppet, I reckon.
All right. So until next time.
Record.
Who were each of we?
you
I
were the
was
Swedish
that
chef.
one.
That was a good
Swedish
one.
chef.
I was gone to
I was the two old dudes, Statler and Waldorf. TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler. New episodes published Wednesdays each week and are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you absolutely must send us a food item, please use caution and good judgment when doing so. Tasty snacks that look or smell funky or are past their expiration date by the time we get to them will be thrown away. Bonus content is available at patreon.com/tadpog with a minimum donation of $1 per month. You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpog Discord. Registration is free and we'd love to see you there. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode. Now, where did I put that stinger? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, so a little bit of a shorter one, but we can't try foods together or take calls in this format. So, hey, we still published. We still got you some sweet Muppet content.
Hopefully everybody's back to normal next week and we can get back to our normal format. So thanks again also to everyone for helping us just get through that and tolerating our bit of our different format this time around.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let me see about a dramatic reading.
Excuse me.
Okay, I got one.
All right, go for it whenever you're ready.
And now, a dramatic reading. Hanging round downtown by myself. And I've had so much time to sit and think about myself. And there she was. Like double cherry pie. Yeah. There she was, like Disco Superfly. I smell sex and candy here. Who's that lounging in my chair? Who's casting devious stares in my direction? Mama? This surely is a dream. Yeah, Mama, this surely is a dream. Dig it!
I'm embarrassed that I knew what that was, like, literally 4 words in. Also, I'm pleased to report that during that dramatic reading, I made it to Dr. Grump.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I knew you had it in you.
Yeah, I couldn't let you boys down.
Like double cherry pie. Yeah, there he is. Dr. Grump.
Dr. Grump.
All right, I shall end there.
All right. Just give me a stop on 3, 2, 1, stop.
I miss a mama's barbecue.
Believe it!